Now I'm gonna intro my stream, Greg, because we're live
Do it.
here. Do it. This is a special late night edition of Destined for Failure, a Twitch stream in which I play Destiny badly. I may or may not play Destiny. It could be Greg and I bullshitting. I'm joined tonight by my benevolent dictator, Greg Tishin, aka my DM and the guy who got me on Twitch in the first place. And we just got done playing Cyberpunk,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a crazy cool session. Somehow I always wind up getting the trippy scenes. You always wind up giving me the trippy stuff.
That's because you play
The
a
weirdos.
wizard. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're playing a wizard in both games. I
Yes.
recognize that.
No. I'm the wizard character.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't do wizard powers as I don't like the way that a wizard is. This is my fundamental problem with Dungeons and Dragons. Not my
Okay.
fundamental problem. This is one of my foundational problems. I have a lot of problems with D&D. I love
Same.
D&D,
We
but I
both
have a
love
lot of
it, but
problems with
it's
D&D.
flawed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the kind of like in the same way that like I had to at some point recognize that like, oh, they're just not making those movies for me. It's not
Mm-hmm.
for. I mean, like I don't have to have an opinion on it. It's just not for me. There's things about D&D that just does not meet my expectations, and one of them is that magic in D&D, and I understand why. It's from a very gamist perspective. It is designed on a very tactical level. Magic is designed to be comparable because of game balance to a fighter swinging a sword or shooting a bow, right? Like magic can be a little bit different or maybe a little bit more utilitarian or something like that, particularly at lower levels. But like that's what it is. It's tactical. It's just like you and me, and I throw a little dart at you or something like that. And I don't like that. It kind of turns magic into technology.
I'm all
In
tabbing to
some setting,
fix Greg's volume. You're low on my
okay,
stream. It's on my stream. It's
I'm
on my
low on
end.
your end. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got
Um,
it.
so that might be just the way Discord is set up for me. And so I think that like
Is that better,
um,
everyone?
I think that the issue there is that you know Matt Colville had a pretty cool stream about that where he was just talking about like if your players are worried about game balance, man, maybe that's a mistake. Like maybe you shouldn't be. And I think that even like game designers, maybe you shouldn't be too worried about game balance. You should worry about
I agree.
being honest to the genre and to the
Um, I
scenario.
actually, so as a DM, I have a situation. One of my players is, oh, I don't
I don't know why there's a banner on your stream that says gift subscriptions for you are currently offline. Purchasing gift subscriptions will not.
Oh, that's... Oh, God. That's part of the Destiny plugin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out...
It's covering up your whole thing, man. It's annoying.
Is it? You can't turn it off?
Not really. Not that it matters.
I mean, you should be able to turn it off. Nobody's complained about it before. Nobody's complained about it before. I'll leave it at that.
And Redbeard on your chat says that sound is working.
Excellent.
Although, how we roll, Yogan says that your audio on your stream is muted. I wonder why that would be. Hey, Thick Daddy Hornlord.
I'm muted. I'm not muted.
Oh, no. They say it's fixed now. It's fixed now. Disregard.
I'm not muted.
Disregard.
It keeps
do you have watch
switching.
Parties as an affiliate, or is that partner only?
Yes, I can do watch parties. Blissfully. I got switched friggin' mouse profiles again. Alright.
How many profiles your mouse got?
Right now, just the 2 for writing and regular stuff. I have, like, stupid formatting things like italicize and select all and copy and paste, all that. Right. I have,
What's your writing software? I'm acting very strange.
Seeing both of us correctly, only one audio channel, otherwise audio lag causes echoing. Well, that makes sense. I mean, you just pick one of us. I'd probably pick Greg. I would probably...
Pick one stream to watch, but make sure you follow or possibly subscribe and, show your love. Show your love to Mr. Ari.
I appreciate it. I hit affiliate super freaking fast, like in 3 months, and that's solely due to you, kind sir Greg, and all the cool people who follow me.
Don't do that. You better take some credit for your work.
I take credit. I'm amusing.
Tell me about that mouse.
Oh, well, this mouse is very special.
I want to see it.
Ooh, okay. Look at it. Look at all the buttons on the side.
Oh, shit. That's like one of those MMO mouses.
It is. It is the it's also the only dedicated ergonomically designed left-handed gaming mouse in existence.
Deb, who's a regular on the old How to Drink channel, she says that she's seen a lot of it, or does use a mouse like that. And I feel like I have too.
I use it when tell editor Deb that before I left, well, she can hear me. I used to work post. And
can we talk about where you used to work post?
Oh yeah, I can. I mean, I can't divulge too much of the details about what happened, but I was the editor of 5 seasons for the Wendy Williams show. How you doing, Wendy Williams? That is true. I did daytime television.
How you doing?
I did daytime TV. Yeah, I can't do her voice. I
don't know that I can either, to be honest. I was listening to one of my streams recently, and I was like, in my mind, I thought my Russian accent was very good, and then I listened to my stream.
I can't listen to my own voice.
This is so bad. I really need to take. I've been in the shower, and I'll be like showering. Like, I gotta look up like how to do an accent for this character. Like, I should study that. Like, as if my life depends on it. I thought I had some issues with my mouse, but it turns out it was actually bus overload, so that my whole computer was.
So. Mine was not that case. Mine was definitely... So the first time they ever made this mouse was 2014. I bought one, and I've been using it for 6 years because it obviously went out of stock. It was a limited production because there's only so many left-handed gamers. So they just hadn't made a new one. They tried to kickstart it, but they just didn't get enough funding. Earlier this year, they announced, hey,
Razer needed to kickstart the mouse?
Yeah, because so here's the thing. It's actually a lot more expensive to
gotta go to the Leftorium, says the Swan.
Yeah, well, I mean the Leftorium jokes are constant. And you know what? People joke about it, but if that was a real place, I'd be in fucking heaven. But they put a new model out this year after 6 years of not doing it, and right when the pandemic started, like right before I started streaming, my mouse wheel died. I've been running this entire time, like most of 2020, without a mouse wheel because I refused to give it up. I programmed the mouse scrolls into the buttons because I was that stubborn. and
Yeah.
I've had to unwork the muscle memory of doing that, and I've had to remember what having a mouse wheel is like. But it's a beautiful mouse. It's well done,
It's a beauty.
and
It's a
it's
real
good for
beauty.
me.
So, I used to be a big fan of the Apple Magic Mouse when it first came out.
Oh,
I
the
loved
original
it.
one, yeah.
Just that I mean, I like the one with the scroll wheel in it too.
That's what I
Mighty Ball,
meant, like the one with the little wheel.
the ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just liked that it had two-dimensional scrolling, and I thought that was a really cool thing, and I'd never seen that before. And then my hand, I was getting like just this sickest carpal tunnel using that little thin piece of paper mouse, and so
Right,
I got,
I use the gel pads.
I got
Yeah.
this. This is an MX Master 2. I actually had an MX Master 1, and now I've got a 2 because the one I kind of outgrew it. And I love it because it's got a scroll wheel here, and then there's another sideways scroll wheel here, so you get that two-dimensional scrolling. And then it's got some other buttons that I don't really use. But it's got this beautiful badonkadonk. I mean, like when you put your hand on it, look at this.
No, it looks really, honestly, it looks very
Ooh,
nice.
very ergo.
Yeah.
Very ergo. When
I
I
got
thought
small
that mouse,
hands though.
I thought that mouse was causing issues because of its wireless nature, and it's truly wireless. Like even if you plug it in, it's just charging but still connecting wirelessly. I bought a gaming mouse, and I was looking into like, well, what's the best one for my purposes? And I wanted a wired one. I got a G502 Hero.
I mean, those are really good usually.
But here's the thing: look at the ass. Look at the booty on the G502.
It's so flat. It's so
It's just
flat.
Exactly. This is a total sorority ass. Whereas
Yeah.
this right here, this has got some meat on it. And I'm going to tell you what, they talk, I didn't know about this, but apparently gamers talk about this. They talk about grip. Is you doing a claw grip? Because this is a claw grip. Or are you doing a palm grip? Because this is a palm grip. Now, I'm a palm grip guy. I don't like that claw grip. I find it very
Show me the claw grip again.
This would be more of a claw grip, like that.
I'm a palm guy. There's no
Yeah.
curve over. It's just a rest on.
But here's the thing. I don't consider myself to have large hands, but when I looked into
Compared to me, you do. Yes.
when I've looked into it, the G502 as like, is that a big mouse or not? People are like, that's a pretty big mouse. You could palm or claw grip it. And I'm like, well, no, I fucking can't. Like, it will not make, you're doing the claw grip wrong. Oh shit, I'm getting schooled over here. The Meikle effect is telling me I'm doing it wrong.
Oh
Okay,
no.
good to know. My point is that like if I just lay my palm on this, the buttons don't line up with where my fingers need to be. Although at the moment it does feel a little bit better than it has in the past. Will say, though, this is my first gaming mouse, and it does have features on it, like the idea that you can change the DPI on the fly.
Oh yeah, no, I've got sensitivity buttons on here. This thing's boss. I love it. It's got 20 programmable buttons. I use the same brand keyboard. I have a Razer keyboard, and because the new mouse is RGB light up, the old mouse was just green. I got to update to their new software, and I can sync my keyboard and mouse to the hue lights in my apartment and turn my entire apartment into an audio sensitive nightclub based off of my Spotify. And it like strobes through colors from my mouse and keyboard throughout my apartment. I played with it last night.
Pretty.
Yeah,
sounds pretty.
it's very nice.
So I'm being told that a Logitech M705 is my jam that I should go for. Is that wireless or wired? Because I had this idea that I wanted a wired mouse, but maybe if that was...
Right, I gotta go pick wireless. A thing that I'm gonna do, and that's.
I have actually. So I've got a couple Stream Decks. I have 3 of them actually. Which is
wow.
absurd.
I need to get one. I need more buttons. I need.
Do you? This is an XL, and this is the standard, and I've got a mini around the corner.
I'm using the 5 programmable buttons on the side of my keyboard right now, which is why every stream I run, I invariably hit the wrong card or I mute myself for the wrong reason.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Stream Deck is neat. You can do cool things with this. Like I have our sounds are on here, but also, and obviously we can change scenes on it. But also, like you were talking about linking up your hue lights. I have them. I'm controlling them on my Stream Deck right now. I have them. Those are all of these.
That's freaking rad.
Scenes can be programmed on your Stream Deck. It's too bright in here now. I like the dark orange lately.
Dark is good. I needed, so after Cyberpunk, I got to take a break from my eyes because I'm playing it with like dim lights, and I'm wearing sunglasses over my regular glasses because those big.
a secret.
Hmm?
I'm going to tell you a secret.
It's not a secret because it's on the internet.
Right. Here it is. You ready?
Okay.
You don't need to do things that are uncomfortable. You don't need to wear those sunglasses.
I know I don't, but I like entertaining.
Oh, well, I can appreciate that.
Look, I shaved a mohawk into my head for this show.
For this?
For Cyberpunk,
Man.
yeah, I kept it for me though.
Okay.
I grew it for Cyberpunk, but my girlfriend and I, we've both we've sat with the mohawk for a while, and we've decided it's very fitting.
She like to run her fingers through it, does she?
She likes.
Your fandom does though. Artistic simplicity. This one and artistic say it looks good on you.
Oh yeah, artistic. She's one of my loyals. I said she. I don't know your gender. I'm sorry, artistic. I make assumptions.
Ergoption oyster. I gotta look up a device called an ergoption oyster because it's a left-handed.
Thank you, Juan. Appreciate it. Everyone's on Greg's chat now. I can look down and see that. All right.
You guys have to switch over to Ari's chat. I know it sounds like there's audio problems over there, so maybe that's an unrealistic expectation.
I'm sorry. I'm just fixing the balance of the audio in the game so I can hear Greg better.
Well, what is that ergoption oyster? That's weird looking shit. You ever see one of those vertical mice where your hand goes like this? That's pretty cool.
No, what the F is that?
Yeah, it's like super ergonomic. Look up for like an ergonomic vertical mouse. It's just that almost every company makes they make high-end mice in a vertical configuration.
High-end mices?
High-end mices. I gotta tell you, man, the Meekle effect says there's some problems on your stream, man. I'm sorry.
I am sorry to hear that. Allow me to investigate.
But I'm watching right now, and I know there's a little bit of delay.
Yeah, I'm still figuring out encoding, and like I said, my tech isn't the. I have a top of the line gaming machine from 6 years ago.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. What is your encoder settings in OB?
It is CBR, and I think I'm at a max 3000 bitrate.
A max of 3000. And what's your canvas size? Is it 1920 by 1080?
I think I'm at 1080. I can probably drop to 720 next time.
And then my other question is, what's your frame rate?
30.
30 is cool. Yeah.
I set it to 30. It was at 60 before. I'm getting help right now.
Is your encoder hardware or software?
I think I'm software encode. No, I'm hardware encoding right now. I have the option to do like a GPU encoding, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing the other one.
Well, no, if you're on hardware, that's what that is. That's your GPU.
I'm not on my GPU at the moment. I'm on software then. I'm on the one that's not my GPU.
What is your GPU? What card do you have?
Oh, God. It's an old, it's like a Radeon GTX 680 maybe. I'm not even running a 1080.
It's a Radeon?
Yeah.
Radeon?
Yeah, it's a Radeon.
Okay.
It's old.
So it turns out that NVIDIAs are just better than Radeons for streaming, which is
I will.
why I switched to the PC.
Southern.
I'm not over there, but it's not. It's
I see you, Southern Skies, in my chat. I will probably just downgrade my whole stream to 720 going forward. I can't do it midstream because that would require me. I can't change the encoding while I'm running. I'd have to stop the stream and start again. But
my buddy here, this Swan, is saying that they do compositing with the same hardware you have, and that it's fine for that. So, compositing and live streaming and real time encoding are kind of different.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, my computer is capable of doing it. I'm new to this, and I'm figuring out the right combo of stuff.
KCSEB says that my background scenery is gorge.
Oh yeah, your background, yeah.
It is the room that I'm in, and that they would like me to have a public Discord server. I don't have one. I have a private Discord server for patrons for my patrons.
Yeah, I followed Greg's advice, and I started one too. I've got a few people in it. We're having fun. You took your advice. I asked you how to do Discord, and you said Patreon, and you told me how to do it.
I just did it. I mean, so here's the thing. I had a Patreon that was pretty well established, and then people were asking me about a Discord.
I know.
And I found out that it was like, oh, I can just make this a patron reward, and I started it out that way. And then very quickly I realized, if I make this public, like I'll have to actively moderate it and shit. Whereas if it's for patrons only, like everybody kind of wants to be here. There's nobody in there to make trouble.
I realized that as well, and I like that logic. So I was like, because it's a really small paywall. Greg and I have the same one. It's like $2. Again, because I followed Greg. And it just, that little $2, if you're not willing to spend $2 on it, you're not willing to go there and trash talk.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a nominal fee at that point. It's just basically.
Yeah,
like
I have two tiers. I have $1 you're nice to me, and then $2 gets you on the Discord. That's it.
Nice. We can talk about that off cam. I was gonna say it's the equivalent of like a pay toilet or something, where it's like a quarter, or like that thing where you had to put a quarter in the cart at the grocery store. Like it's just so nominal, but it's about making sure.
But the most important thing I've learned about Twitch so far is fostering community. So like I feel like having that paywall helps. I don't know, the people that are loyal and come back week after week feel a little safe. Feels like, I'm obligated to moderate them to a certain degree. I don't know.
It's like free dating sites, says Salty Opa. You get all the weirdos.
Oh, yeah, free dating sites.
KCSEB says, if you ever do set up a public Discord, I'm more than welcome to assist you with moderation, such have been with Discord and devs since day one. You know what's crazy? I've heard
that's
that people
awesome.
are getting sponsored. It's like sponsored by Discord and shit now, and I'm like, it never occurred to me that Discord would need or have that it would be useful to Discord.
Like, yeah, what sort of advertisement does Discord need? They're ubiquitous.
I don't even mean that. Like, it never occurred to me that Discord was a business model. like I was just like,
well, you thought it was just like pirate software that appeared from nowhere?
Yeah, I don't know. Like OBS isn't. Like OBS is open, totally open.
Yeah, but Discord's way too polished for that, dude.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. So people get sponsored on Discord. I am not. F Batman.
Oh yeah, that's a bot. I'm getting bots.
Oh, that's a bot. F Batman's a bot.
Yeah. That's how I know I'm starting to make it, dude. I'm celebrating my bots. I didn't have bots before. Now I have bots.
Celebrate those bots.
I made affiliate, and I hit that sweet affiliate level.
So wait a second. I'm looking at your chat right now, and it says Artistic Simplicity has redeemed Posture Check, and this one redeemed Hydrate.
Oh, yeah. So, like, you haven't looked at this stuff? There's all these things you can get people to spend your channel points on. They have a section of presets called IRL. And I did 3 out of 4 of them because one of them was wear a hat. And I was like, I don't want to put on a hat. But the other ones were hydrate, check your posture, and stretch. I got those. And then I let people spend channel points and make me drink water. And then my friends in my clan are dicks, and they spam it, and then I have to drink a whole glass, and then I gotta take a leak.
You could. No, I'm not gonna say that.
No, I'm not gonna have a catheter while I stream, Greg.
It doesn't have to be that. Whatever. We would call it a piddle pack.
A piddle pack.
Piddle pack. Yeah, it's like some sniper shit. I was just. What I was to say is that Artistic Simplicity wants you to stretch.
I know. I'm in the middle of a fight. When I kill the boss, I will.
They love it. What I was gonna say was that I don't know anything about how those.
Really? Because I just started like going in menus and seeing what things were. I changed like what all my tier levels are. Like my subscription tiers are power, more power, and unlimited power. Like, you can name them any stupid thing you want, and no one can stop you as long as you're not being offensive. So just, I'm not taking it too seriously.
Don't take it too seriously.
I'm not.
I was going to say that the my thing with Twitch is that I feel like Twitch is, and I love Twitch. I'm having a lot of fun with Twitch. Honestly, I have more fun with Twitch than I do with YouTube. I have more fun with it.
Yeah,
That
Twitch
doesn't
has been
mean
the
that
most fun I've had.
between you, me, the walls, and the combined 70 people who might be watching both of our streams together, I mean, YouTube pays the bills, but Twitch is on its way. I was to say that Twitch does feel like, to me, a black hole that requires infinite design assets. Like, I'm just constantly like, under every rock I look.
That's why I haven't started my Dragon Age
to
stream yet, because
make
I needed a
5 or
fantasy
10
thing.
animations? Could you make 10 animations right now, Greg? Could you do that? Hey, over here, could you make 25 emoticons about your face? Ooh, what about animated versions of those emoticons?
See, I'm smart. I'm not doing my face. My viewers have decided that it's going to be my cat's face. My cat's going on the emotes. I don't got to do my face.
You know what I think you should do is you should take a picture of your cat and
I have
reach
like
out
thousands
to
of them.
Eyes
Yes.
of Sin, because I bet Eyes of Sin could do some very cutesy Chiba style or Bit style on-brand character, and make a whole mascot for your stream.
I mean, Dib is my mascot. Muad'Dib, soon to be played by Timothée Chalamet in Denis Villeneuve's upcoming Dune. My cat in Dune. We don't have to talk about Dune, Greg.
I don't have much to say about Dune.
I know you don't.
I do have a highlighted message that I should read from How We Roll, Yogon. It is basically this stuff. I don't know exactly what they are referring to there. But then, follow up, how hard is it to get to grips with the cyberpunk rules? Is it very crunchy?
Cyberpunk's more crunchy than D&D, but it's not the crunchiest game I've ever played. Specifically this edition. Cyberpunk Red is pretty friendly, honestly.
I feel like, let me see if I can encapsulate this. I feel like it's my gut when I hear crunchy is that I think it's way more crunchy than Dark Heresy, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, than Dark Heresy. Probably.
My gut when I hear crunchy is I think of it like vertical crunch, and vertical crunch is how much stuff. Like if you describe a game as crunchy, I assume that means that every character has a huge stack of numbers and rolls and tables and rules that every character has to
wait
crunch.
For the full release, Meerkat. Don't get the jump start. Wait for the full release.
Get the jump start.
Get the jump start and support Talsorian, but I shouldn't say that.
Who our friends are here, man.
Capitalism.
They were sold out at the moment.
Capitalism, buy their thing, but also the book's coming out soon-ish. They recently said that due to COVID, they can't give a proper release date on it. But they are working hard on it. Greg's seen a newer version of it than I have.
I suspect that the book's coming reasonably soon. I think at this point, I know they're actually not physically done doing the layout yet, so it's not like a production hold up. They're not held up on literally the printing or anything like that. So, and I don't know how long printing takes. So, I don't know.
No, they said that the printing is just going to be what it is. It'll be slower because of COVID, but that's it.
I feel like Cyberpunk Red has a lot of horizontal crunch, where it's not like, here is the tree of rules that every single player has to know. Like, you as a player might have a fairly light slice of crunch, but as the DM, I feel like I need to be aware of. So
there's an easier way to explain this. Yeah, every class has its own mini game.
Yes, pretty much.
Every class has its own mini game, and then the referee, DM, GM, whatever you want to call it, they have to know all the mini games at once. And some of them are not that complicated, and then some of them are crazy complicated, like net running.
Yeah. But there's also and every week I am trying to introduce and bring into play more aspects of the cyberpunk game. Like tonight, we had our first face down. Face down is
That was cool.
It's based on the reputation system, which we have not really explored yet, and it should be happening all the time. And I think it's really neat because it's a mechanism for cyberpunk characters to avoid combat, since cyberpunk has famously deadly combat. But like that, there's a whole system there for that, right? It's not a very complicated system, but it is there. How about, we have not really done much with every character's role ability either.
Most of them, no. Yeah, like Branton's,
no.
We've barely touched.
No, it's my fault too. I mean, it's partially my fault. It's also partially like none of you guys are full-time role-playing game players for a living. So like, how many hours of your downtime can I expect to consume is a factor.
I mean, I'll do anything for $50, man.
Sure. Good to know.
I took it there. I'm sorry, Greg.
It's okay. That's fine. Yes, for those of you who happen to be tuning in, I'm fine sharing. The players in our stream do get a nominal quotient of compensation. I actually wonder about that. Like when people play on other streams, because there's like a whole ecosystem.
I don't know. And for the record, all of us, like, as players, we didn't request this. Greg was like, I'm gonna pay you a little, and we're all like, oh, okay. We all like playing role-playing games. Like,
yeah.
None of us are like here against our will. We're all enjoying ourselves.
Oh, Thick Daddy, thank you so much for gifting those subs.
Yeah, Thick Daddy, awesome.
I do love the Thick Daddy giving out them subbies. I was gonna say too, though, is well, we gotta get more people over in your. Actually, honestly, Ari, your stream does appear to be locked up on my end. I was about to plug it. It's hard to plug it when it's locked up. I'm sorry.
It's what?
It's like I'm just seeing like a spinning wheel on your stream. I don't know why.
I mean,
oh no, it's playing now.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm so sorry.
It's playing now. It was locked up on my end. What I was gonna say is that I mean, when we were going to be playing in person, I was certainly going to cover at least your transportation expenses to get here.
I was probably going to wind up crashing on your couch.
And I would still cover your transportation expenses because it was going to be a pain in the ass. But yeah, I mean, like originally we were supposed to run D&D/whatever at a table together. That is
before the world fell apart.
I bought a fucking suite of cameras to do it with.
It was so beautiful.
And then that week, everything crashed.
Yeah. We had one stream in person, and then we went...
Oh, we had one stream in person that was like a test pilot that was all done on Crapo. Well, not Crapo, but, like...
Yeah, it's the lost session of D&D, as we like to call it.
I bought all, like, this camera, like, all of these, like, low-budget DSLRs that I bought were for multicam streaming of talk shows, guest shows, but also tabletop role-playing games from here. So Thick Daddy loves my channel. Thank you, Thick Daddy. Thick Daddy. This one says it's all that anarchy internet. Southern
that
Skies,
is unfortunate. Southern Skies.
Southern Skies. I want to give you many kudos because you're the one name I've seen. You and this one I'm seeing in both.
Oh, this one's one of my regulars. This one shows up all the time.
Too.
Yeah. Who'd have thunk it that my viewership, like, if there was a Venn diagram, I would be a smaller circle inside of your circle.
Gotcha. Inside of my circle. No overlap, just physically inside of it.
Yeah. I literally don't think I have attracted a single viewer that isn't also one of your viewers.
It might be fair. That might be fair. But we got to work on that. So how we roll Egon... is it Yogan? Yogan? I don't know how to pronounce Eoghan.
People don't need to live follow. I'm not in a rush to partner, but if people want to just give me a click that follow button, you don't need to watch me. But I'd appreciate the follow.
I wonder too. I mean, it's funny. I actually could probably, if you gave me your key, I could probably dual stream.
I could give you my stream key.
I could probably hijack your stream and feed your stream from my end, But I don't know though. If you're having lag issues, it might actually be because you're affiliate and not partner. Squad stream editor Deb, I want to, but he's got to be a partner, and he's not a partner. We can't squad stream.
That was what we were trying to figure out. That was why we were late.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to work on. I'm very frustrated by that. Yogan.
We also can't form a team yet.
Yogan is Owen. Okay. No, we could form a team, but it's like really complicated. And actually, you have to create a ticket, and basically, it's like a request that you put into Twitch, and a human being has to review it. And I don't think I would. I have no basis to form a team.
I'm hurt. A duo's not a team? Fine. Whatever.
No, it's not that. I mean, like, I think that they like
down on
competitive esports.
Oh, Artistic. Thank you so much for all the tiers subs you just gifted. That was really cool.
That is awesome.
Artistic is another one of my regulars.
Artistic is a solid person.
Solid human being.
Owen, to answer my RPG streaming world, there's lots of fight back about people not paying players or guests and doing the bullshit, but they pay in exposure. We pay special guests that we have on. What do you have going on, Yoan? I would love to know more about that. I also wonder what the going rate is.
I can ask. Listen, I have a friend who's on a Twitch team, and I can find out more about it.
Well, not Twitch team. I would love to know more about Twitch teams, but I'm thinking about what is the going rate for somebody who performs in a weekly or bi-weekly, role-playing game thing?
Oh, I have no idea. What do the Critical Role people make?
And then you get into another question: are they partners? And I hope they are, because they built that with Matt Coe.
I have no idea. The cast on that thing's enormous.
Yeah, but there's a core cast, and I really hope that they have a stake in it. Honestly. Other shows have more of a rotating cast. I mean, okay, cool. Those are freelancers who come and go. It's a little bit different. Owen says that $50 to $100 is pretty normal. Okay. And Ghost of Sparta says they're definitely partners.
Partners, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that even if it's just nominal, like, I don't know. I hope I'm not wrong in saying this, but like, I don't think this is a major time sink for you guys. It's a couple of hours from your home. You don't have to go anywhere. And like, if we turned off the cameras, we would all play D&D together for free anyway.
Yeah, we would be doing this. We would be doing this anyway.
I mean, ideally we would be, but like, so, I mean, my thought was that like, what I can afford is cool. And if I can do more, then that's even better. But that like, I don't know. In the beginning, I think they were just volunteering their time. I think that they were literally,
that's what I was expecting when you were saying, hey, I'm gonna stream this. I was like, I'm in. Like, I don't care that it's just
we didn't. I mean, I was like, we were a few weeks in when I said, look guys, like, there's not a ton of money here, but like, I can pay you guys something. And I feel like, I mean, it's a slice of my pie, to be perfectly blunt. Like, it'd be shitty as fuck for me to just feel
I mean,
scrape anything from it. I mean, I don't make any money on Twitch. Twitch is essentially a cost. Well, it's probably at a loss, to be honest, but it's like, what I'm saying, like, every penny I make from Twitch at this point is getting burned back into Twitch. But I mean, that's fine, because like, my wife is always like, maybe, you spend a lot of time working on that, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. And I was like, yeah, but you remember, like, for 3 years you kind of said the same thing about YouTube, like, you know what I mean? Like,
my girlfriend thinks it's great because I'm talking to other people about Destiny and like things. I'm not bugging her. She's like, go sit in front of your computer and talk to the screen. Leave me alone.
What's her jam when you're on the screen? What's her deal? My wife likes to do jigsaw puzzles, which make me want to pull my own fingernails out.
No. She wears headphones and watches stuff on Netflix. Oh. She just burned through all of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. She also, the months of September through early November are all Halloween. So she's been, you can't see it from my angle, but if I turn the camera any other direction, I live in the Addams Family Munster house right now. There's like bats and Halloween decorations and bones and skulls and shit draped everywhere, and I'm not exaggerating. She takes Halloween very seriously. She likes decorating.
Edit Deb is mad that Sabrina was canceled. Edit Deb, I think that we've talked.
We had a buddy who worked on that.
Who?
Dan Hahn was assistant editor.
Oh, was he? Was he really the assistant editor, or was he the editor?
He was assistant editor. He said he was assistant editor, and you could hear his voice whispering to Sabrina in the woods in an episode. I saw him like Facebook post it once.
Do you know a Dan Hahn editor, Deb? I don't know if that was cut out there. I mean, it sounds like because editor Deb knows. If I'm not mistaken, we both know Jesse Averna.
Well, yeah, I think it's all through post chat.
Yeah, who of course Ari knows. We all went to college.
Well, yeah, we're all on post chat. I'm still
Dan
on post chat.
Hahn.
I'm not even an editor anymore.
I am not on post chat. I was.
Post chat's really cool. That's a great community Jesse started.
I never got. It's so crazy to me too. I never got into post chat. I just never got onto. You know why?
I had a lot of really good advice when I was freelancing. That came from there. I owe 2 stretches now that I haven't taken.
When it was hot, I mean, when he was really active about it and he was running Twitter, I was like, what the? I can't get Twitter. You know, like it was like a Twitter thing, and I was just like, I don't got time. I don't know.
I didn't get Twitter either. I didn't get Twitter until I started doing Twitch and freelance writing and having to like get people to look at my writing. Oh, everybody wants me to do everything. I have a posture check. I owe 2 stretches, and I have to drink. Ridiculous.
Deb's going to be on a panel moderated by Jesse next week. I think I've seen him tweeting.
Awesome. I saw Jesse. We couldn't talk, but he was in New York at speaking at an editors conference, and I went to it and I saw him talk. And I think we locked eyes once, but like we texted each other. He's a busy man, that Jesse.
Yeah, he is.
Busy man.
Yes, he is.
For the people not in the know, Jesse Averna is like our classmate who went on to become like a 5-time Emmy Award winning like editing god in animation.
I think 7 now, actually.
Well, he got it. It was 5 for Sesame Street. I don't know how many he got at Disney, and now he works at DreamWorks.
He never stopped working at Sesame Street.
What?
Picking him up for yeah, he still works at Sesame Street.
He does? I thought he stopped working for them.
Okay. He picks up enough days on Sesame Street throughout the year to be on the Sesame Street team.
Look, you know more than I do at this point.
Yeah. He from what I understand, editor Deb says he had his Disney movies. Yes, that's true. You'll see his name in the credits of a couple of things.
Oh wow!
Surrounding
Good
Frozen.
for him. I don't know how he has the time.
actually-
I think he must split his consciousness into multiple bodies because there cannot be a way.
I don't want to. I mean, we're talking about a person in the third person.
We're talking about a person we love, also, for the record.
It's true, but I think that he actually is no longer at Disney. I think he kind of.
No, I did. I just said he left. He's at DreamWorks. He made it public.
Yeah, that's right. So
he publicly tweeted about it.
I mean, he also publicly left Sesame Street. So.
Yeah, like it's not like that's not a freaky thing. He made like a big announcement that he's like, oh, I love Disney, but I got offered a cool thing at DreamWorks. He was he worked on Wreck-It Ralph 2. He was a stormtrooper in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I never made use of his free tickets to Disneyland. I feel bad about that. kept inviting me out for that, but I just never. The airplanes.
Yeah. I mean, Jesse has also been like, "Yeah, you should come out. You should come out west." I'm like, I'm sure I'd do really great, but I don't want to. I like New York.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. I've had no good reason not to. Like, I know that's where the agents are. I know that's where, like, everything gets decided. Like, I gotta go to the West Coast, but I really like
Everybody
New York.
in here knows Jesse Averna. Apparently, Southern Skies saw him live at PAX Australia in 2018.
Jesse was at PAX Australia? Interesting.
I feel like they're talking about something else. Wait a second. That can't be about Jesse.
I can't. I never packed Jesse in Australia.
I was going to say is adultish Gambino. I see the inverse of childish Gambino. You Twitch handles are unreadable. Says, "What's up, boss man?" And I'm going to say, not much.
I'm just hitting buttons. That's for the 11 people watching me play Destiny.
Austin Chase, thank you for the subscribe. How about I gotta do a bio? I gotta.
So you can do a bio, and then I'll talk to your stream while you're gone.
Yeah.
I can kind of see the chat while I'm playing. Let me move my iPad so that's in front of my eyeballs, so I can see out the chat. Destiny is adultish Gambino. Destiny is my cruel, harsh mistress.
That could be true, editor.
Thank you, thank you, Mr. Casually Awesome. I am working on figuring out the encoding. I'm sorry if there are freezes. I'm a Twitch noob. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna step away for 3 seconds.
He's stepping away for 3 seconds.
And when I come back, you're gonna explain to me how to use voice meter potato to
banana.
Well, I have potato.
You want banana?
Potato is the expanded version of banana.
Well, then you've got potato and you've got money, and I don't. So congratulations. I only look at the free version.
No, banana's not free actually though. Banana's between the free version. And
I didn't pay Jack for banana.
It's just donationware. They're all donationware, and I think that all of them have some level of
there's some extra features, and every time it launches, it says, "Hey, want to give me money?" But I don't need it for any of the features I use.
Okay. I'll be right back, friends. I want to say TV land, but I'm gonna say Twitchy land. I'll be
in
right
Twitch
back.
land. I'm hungry,
Twitch
audience. Back. Normally, after Cyberpunk, I don't stream.
Oh, that's not good.
I don't stream. I go and I eat. I eat like a gigantic bowl of cereal. But that's not happening now. Because Greg and I have been talking about this for a long time. Like, hey, we should probably, like, raid your channel after Cyberpunk. But we never get around to it. There's all this. I'm trying to watch 2 chats at the same time and play Destiny. Have you ever wanted to have 4 eyeballs that could all look in different directions at the same time? Because that's where I'm at right now. Greg got raided. Well, welcome to Greg's channel, people who are watching Greg's stream. I'm not Greg. I'm Ari at The Amazing Ari. I'm also streaming right now, and you can come watch me. Yes, I am the not Greg. I'm Ari. I play Cyberpunk with Greg. I'm an old college buddy of his. We also worked in the industry, if we want to sound like jackasses in the entertainment industry together. Thank you for the follow, Poetica. Appreciate it. The Biz. I'm working on promoting my own stuff. Here I am, chilling. So Greg's returning now. But while he's just, I believe on his channel, it's just the 2 of us talking. On my channel, there's also gunfire, because I'm playing Destiny 2, because that's mostly what I stream. Although I'm about to start, because I have been requested by my audience, I'm going to start playing the Halo games, because they asked me to. Lots of pew-pew. Shiny lasers.
Halo? You ever play Deep Rock Galactic?
No. Explain this one to me.
You might like that one. It's also something that you and I could like do together. It would be fun.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Now that I have this layout set up, it's gonna be a lot easier.
You in Deep Grok Galactic, you are dwarves in outer space, whom are miners. You gotta go mining, but there's bugs everywhere.
I like mining.
And you get like classes. You know, you're like a digger, an engineer, gunner.
Digger, shoveler, pile maker.
There's like 4 classes, and then you build out your character, and then you hang out at a bar in between. Deep Rock Galactic. That's the reason I know it, because there's drinks in it, and people wanted me to make the drinks from it. But the drinks are really hard for me to turn into something on the show, because they all have the custom mug, and the mug is the defining characteristic of the drink. So it's like to do a version of that, that's gonna be tough. The other thing I was gonna say is that the other good game I would love to do. I'm into Elite Dangerous a little bit.
I have Elite Dangerous. I have a HOTUS also.
I want to get one if I keep going.
Oh, you gotta get a HOTUS, man. It's the way
I
to
know.
do it.
I know. I want to kind of get into that more. I would do that with you. That'd be cool.
I
would
did
also
that.
do,
I did buy into the scam that is Star Citizen a bajillion years ago, so I can play that skeleton of a game.
I'm going to stand by it just because Matt Colville is a fan, so I'm going to say
Of what?
probably
Of Star Citizen?
Yeah, and I think that he knows what he's talking
I
about.
look, it's really cool. It's just never going to get finished. For the record, it is really cool. Like, I've played a bunch of it.
Anything really finished?
On my channel, Hammer Spaceman has said he plays the engineer in the game you were mentioning.
In Deep Rock, yeah. I forget. I only played it the one night, and it was like late and lonely. And Greg the man, Destiny.
Yeah, Hammer Spaceman just Adultish Gambino on my channel said Among Us has been hitting right now. Hammer Spaceman is a super gifty person, and he got me Among Us, so I may play that also on here.
What's Among Us? Oh, that's that. It's like Werewolf in Space.
Is it? I have not seen. I don't know. Oh, so it's like the social deduction game Werewolf in Space. Got it.
Sort of. Yeah, I saw a trailer for it, and it does look fun.
I'll play that. Cool. I made a social deduction game.
Owen says it's amazing. How we roll Owen. And then sounds like Owen, by the way, has a podcast. What's it called, man? You can't just say. You got to plug yourself. I'm going to teach you about
Yeah. Media. Plug. Shamelessly plug.
Couldn't afford to join Star Citizen, and now I'm glad you did.
Let me say this. I spent the bare minimum. Like, I've only put $50 into the game. I have fun with it. Like, it's a very good sim that's just never going to be the giant MMO that he swears it's going to be.
What is Star Citizen?
Star Citizen.
Yeah, you don't think so? I am attempting to do things that are kind of impossible. Oh, you know what's funny about this? I'm like trying to play Star Citizen. I was going to look at Among Us on my PC, but I don't have to. I can do it on my Mac. So explain to me the potato.
Alright, that may actually require me to finish this mission so that I can pull it up and talk to you about it. And then we can do that real quick.
Okay. It's PC only, Among Us. It is $5 on PC. And I'm looking at a video of it being played. There's a little space thingy. Zipping along.
You definitely have permission on my channel as well for plugging within reason. I have a viewer who he runs a dispensary in Maine, and he got really obsessed with my cyberpunk character, and now there is a strain of marijuana sold in Maine legally, that is called Mr. Friend's Forgotten Forest. And I love it.
So I'm looking at Among Us. It looks like there's a lot more going on in Among Us than I thought there was. Like, people are walking around, there's maps, there's like stuff happening.
Yeah, Captain Manic, you're right. Star Citizen will get done around the same time as Firefly the game. And whenever we get the next Game of Thrones book.
Never. Yeah,
I would too, but I live in an anarchist jurisdiction where it's not legal because we have laws in our anarchist jurisdiction. That's weird. I don't understand how that works. But it's illegal in our anarchist jurisdiction.
You can have laws in an anarchy. You just can't have a government.
That's true.
What should I drink before?
It's mainly vibes with Maine spelled M-A, like the state, because he's in Maine.
Oh.
That guy talks about weed and guns, and he's one of my most loyal viewers.
Good.
He's like one of the. He's like one of those, he's a pretty left-wing gun nut.
Yeah,
he's a nice guy.
Socialist Rifle Association is probably a member.
Yeah, with an E, Juan. But yeah, Juan's mostly got it. Mainly with an E. Okay.
Austin Chase is saying that they are also a lefty gun nut, and maybe I'm misquoting them. This person in my chat. I get that argument. I totally think it is.
Okay.
I understand the logic. I think it doesn't add up, but that's my take on it.
All right, Greg. So I've got voice meter banana, not potato, because I'm not cool. I also did. Did you also install the other thing I sent you, the VB audio cable?
So I have one of them installed, and I know I can have more than one.
So all you need is one,
Okay.
and then you set your hardware input to that virtual audio cable, and then you set your system sound to that virtual audio cable, and then like through the sound menu. Like, hold on, I'm virtual audio.
If I turn on voice meter potato, it may break things, so I'm going to do that right now. But
Okay.
like, if I am I still showing up in sound?
Yeah.
I am. Okay. I got the potato up, and actually, because I'm doing a screen capture, like a chungus, I don't know what the word is. It's kind of cropping your camera a little bit. I apologize. So you're saying I got to take input 1, and it is set for cable output VB.
Yeah, this is your system. This is your system audio
virtual cable. So I want to make it, but it should be WDM cable output VB audio virtual cable.
Yeah, you want here. I'll pull up. You want WDM,
and it should be the output.
This is an yes, because this is what you are inputting into the soundboard. This is so it can be an audio input in Streamlabs.
Okay, and so then what do I do next?
Then I also have my mic set up as another hardware input.
If I do that, though, then there's latency in my headphones, and I don't need that to
happen. I guess I'm not listening to myself in the headphones.
Yeah, you should be. I just started doing it pretty recently, and as long as there's zero latency, I know the setup you're on it would be impossible, but if you have zero latency, like it changes you from having to scream all the time.
Oh well, I would scream all the time anyways because I'm the loudest motherfucker on the planet. But I make the second input my my mic. Whoops, daisical. And then over here, I set my hardware out for my headphones, so it all goes to my headphones. But there's 3 different audio outs.
I have it set to my Focusrite USB ASIO.
All right, and then as far as making Discord separate, over here on virtual inputs, voice meter auxiliary, I make that in Discord the audio output, and then I route both the cable output and the voice meter auxiliary to audio 1, so it all feeds into my headset so I can hear Discord and my computer, but they are 2 separate tracks in slobs.
But then, like, so I know you don't have, like, so what if you had another app that you wanted to have this app, an application that produces sound? Let's say it's it's actually Stream Deck. If I wanted to have Stream Deck be its own source in
I would need a Stream Deck to see if it could be noticed as an input.
It cannot.
Then I don't know. I don't know, man.
See, on a Mac, this is a totally solvable problem, but on a PC, it seems impossible.
Look, you have a tendency to run much more complicated setups than I do. All I know is that I'm able to use Voice Meter Banana to set up separate inputs, and it serves my purposes. But again, I don't have any of the amount of gear you have.
That's fair. Hold on a second. Front slash. I gotta do a thing here real quick.
I'm gonna go back to my game.
Permit. I'm gonna do you up right now. You can drop your link right now. How we roll. You got 60 seconds to drop a link, man. Okay, so basically, yeah, I'm right. The thing I want to do is not really possible.
I mean, you're not asking an audio expert, but I showed you what I use.
I was talking to Corey Allen about it before.
See, that's who you should be talking to. That's a fucking audio expert.
His response when I was describing it, he was like, "Oh, it sounds like you're gonna need like 3 different virtual cables and a couple of devices, and you're gonna need this." And I was like, "Dude, why? What is wrong with PCs that this is so complicated?"
What is wrong with PCs is that Mac has like quality control over every single thing that gets released on it, pretty much, and PC is the Wild West. So you can do anything on PC. I swear there's a way to do what you want to do on PC. You just haven't found it yet, and that's the
Yeah.
problem with PC is that you got to find it. I'm sorry that there's massive audio lag, Captain Manic, on my end. I'm working on it. I will have better settings every time I run a stream. I'm changing my encoder settings, hoping that I'll strike gold. It's yet to happen.
It's just frustrating stuff because Mac won't accept the truth. Adultish Gambino, I'm telling you guys that the Mac does a better job of this problem. There are things that like OBS physically cannot do on the Mac that they do on the PC, but that's because it's open source software and there's just more PC people developing it than Mac.
Like I said, Mac has a really great infrastructure. I like Macs. I have a MacBook Pro. Like I have both platforms. PCs are so flexible, and you're not beholden to Apple's Mac Store. Like, I built my own rig. I maintain and upgrade it as I want. You can do anything. You just have to be smart enough. And the problem is I'm not most of the time. Let's do a nightmare hunt instead.
Peppermint uses it. Yeah, 84. I don't know how that's going to work out for them.
I appreciate it, Captain Manic, and how we roll Eogan. I want to say I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm not. I appreciate it. It's all appreciated. Like I tell Greg and I tell my viewers, I've been shocked at how quickly I hit affiliate and how nice everyone's been. And how much I enjoy Twitch. I was not expecting to enjoy participating in Twitch as much as I have been. Owen. How we roll Owen. Is that Gaelic spelling?
I think he says it is, yeah. I think it's Gaelic.
That's... Oh, good. The witty stream titles. I didn't know if I was being pretentious or not by doing that whole thing. I was going for witty. And I'm gonna try and continue to be witty with all my other shows. I am gonna do more stuff than Destiny, mostly because, like, who knows? There's a new expansion coming out November 10th, and anybody who plays Destiny can tell you, Greg, it's a roller coaster. It's like being in an abusive relationship.
Oh, that's like, I play Clash Royale.
Yeah. So, like, it's constantly in flux. Every patch literally changes the game balance. Everything is it's Irish, but ancient Irish.
So this Peppermint wants to know when we're going to start playing Among Us.
When we're going to start playing Among Us? Well, I have it installed, so in theory, whenever we schedule it.
Should we just start now?
I'm probably going to wrap this stream up and go to bed soon, because I'm not you, and it's almost 3 a.m.
I had to work till 5:30 in the morning last night.
Yeah, you had to?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I kind of did. Yeah.
Alrighty. I love you, Greg, but sometimes your nocturnal habits are self-enforced.
No, it's true, but what happened was I had an edit that... You know what happens is, like, so first off, I wish I could, whenever I lean back, there's so much more space in the sound. I have a nice microphone, it's way up here.
Yeah, you wanted me to, like, be making out with my mic. You said I sounded good when I was making out with my mic.
You do, though. I mean, listen to this. This sounds like, this is very intimate. We're up here in the radio land. And it's just you, me, and the walls, and we're all really good friends.
We were talking about in the chat.
Yeah.
We were talking about everything. NPR host names. It's your favorite singer's last name, and then your favorite, like, fabric pattern.
host names is your favorite singer's last name and your favorite fabric pattern.
Yeah, so for example, hello, this is Paisley Cobain, and you've joined me on Destined for Failure.
Oh, okay. How about, okay, gotcha. Hi, this is Damarau Plaid, and...
That's perfect. We're going to talk about Slavic throat music for the next 3 hours.
named for Diana Damarau, who had the finest aria as the Queen of Night. So, no, what I was going to say was that... what was I? Oh, you know what?
Cornell Crosshatch. That's awesome. That's a great NPR name.
Suede Gambino, Ira Felt, Checker Cash. Ooh,
These are all good.
Oh no,
Cohen Searsucker.
Cohen Searsucker.
Cohen Searsucker has like a multi-part series on like his grandfather's autobiography.
He has no real claim to his own. He's just made a documentary about grandfather.
Yeah, and he's talking about it Ira Glass style.
My grandfather, I'll tell you, he was...
Idle Gingham. See, these are great. I'm digging
Idle
it.
Gingham. No, Billy Idle Gingham. Yeah. So anyway, what happened was I went to my computer to do what I thought was going to be a stream last night, and just like a quick make a thumbnail and prep today's episode for release. Right. And then what happened was I was testing new hardware. I had the GPU hooked up and everything on the eGPU hooked up, and my computer was fighting me so hard on everything. It took forever.
Is that why you did the PC migration?
Yeah, and then I unplugged a bunch of stuff, and then the computer started having like multiple panic attacks or kernel panics in a row while I was streaming. The stream was collapsed. It was great, and so Deb was there. She was like, "It really was fighting you."
Velvet Bowie.
Yeah. And so I ended up just tossing the eGPU, and by tossing I mean I went to the UPS store and returned it today.
Yeah, but, I can't imagine. Like, there are things that I can see you throwing across a room in rage, and a GPU is not one of them.
No, I didn't throw it. I did carefully uninstall it and repackage it.
I imagined you had one of those like moments in a TV show where you see them kill everyone in the room, and then they blink and they snap back, and you didn't kill them all.
I'm a much more mellow fellow these days.
These days, fatherhood has mellowed you out. I will say that. Yeah, there's less rage.
Yeah, I mean, I had an event. We could talk about that briefly.
Oh, is this the same event you told me about?
I probably did. Probably told you about it. I don't talk about it on stream or whatever, but it's good content, so I guess we can talk about it while we're playing.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we want to get into your psychological event.
The event.
Was it? It was. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it happened on a ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the reason I don't eat meat anymore.
Are you really a vegetarian now?
I'm a pescatarian. I don't eat mammals. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like, other than I have my morality around it is like, look, if you order it and it's here and it's just going to go in the garbage, I mean, then that's totally a wasteful thing to do. I would never do that. But I was going to say is that, but I'll never order beef or pork at all, or goat for that matter. And I really should quit birds as well. Eventually, I'd like to be a vegetarian. I'm just not there yet.
Look at you! You really did become a hippie guy.
No, yeah, I did. It's really hard.
I'm supportive of this.
Chicken.
I am not that.
Like, chicken is ubiquitous and healthy. Honestly, it's tough to quit.
I love cow. I know that makes me a terrible human being, but
really miss the cattle that much. Honestly, like occasionally, like I kind of miss barbecue.
I crave it,
but.
I had a beef burrito tonight.
Crave it.
Judge me.
But I mean, in all honesty, like I really had like I fried some fucking neurons. Like I did some like legit damage to my prefrontal cortex, and I came out like Megan was like there was like a couple of months there where she was like, "You are literally a different person. Like you're like having a stroke. Like you are a fundamentally different person than I met." So it was weird. Like I did some fucking brain damage. But what I was gonna say was
some fucking brain damage, man.
I got some brain damage up in here. I've had a couple of concussions. Let me tell you, the damnedest thing.
Greg
Gets kicked in
has
the
the
head by a
craziest
mule,
shit.
eyes go crossed, falls down a well, goes straight again. Anyway, no, but what I was gonna say, and what was I gonna say?
I don't know. You tell me, brother.
We're on a subject about being close to the microphone, and about eventually I'll come back to vegetarianism, and then I'll talk about it in a second. It's related to having bipolar disorder. It turns out, and it was really interesting when my therapist, whom I don't have a therapist, but I went back to a therapist I had seen years prior, and he was like, "You understand that you are in the middle of a very serious mixed state bipolar event, right?" And I was like, "No, I don't understand that at all."
Please
And he's like,
explain it to me.
"Yeah," and he was like, "Well, you are," and I was like, "Oh, I feel a lot better, thank you."
Oh yeah, I mean, like I kind of had my own mental health stuff going on. I'm a very different person now as well.
Sure, I think that's what happens. People change.
I I almost had like I burned out in post production, and I had a nervous breakdown, and I kept it on the DL, and I lived off of my editor's savings and just didn't work for a long time, and went to therapy and got on medication, and like got my head screwed on straight, and despite the financial scariness, decided fuck it, I'm a writer now because that's what makes me happy. Um, and it doesn't pay well, but I'm doing it.
Good.
But also
not paying well.
but no, the doing it part. I get it.
Exactly. Yeah. Wait a second. Where are you? Wait a second. Ari? You know what I'm realizing? My eye line is backwards.
Your eye line is backwards.
Yeah, we're gonna switch these cameras around because I need to be on the.
I'm glad, Editor Deb, that you were able to get over your burnout. I feel like So here's the thing. I fell in to editing. I actually got the Wendy Williams show job because of Jesse. Frankly, he told me about it. I think he told both of us about it, and Greg and I both applied for the job.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't really remember every job I applied for, but I probably did apply for that.
No, you. I remember explaining what the job was, and you're like, glad I didn't get called back for the interview.
That's right.
That's what you told me. Thanks,
right.
pal.
It's true. It was not a gig I wanted.
You're like, I'm not doing that. I don't know, fucking. You lived
job?
in Jersey at the time. You're like, I'm not commuting.
You know what job I interviewed for? Believe it or not, it was. And it was before it was a show. I interviewed for Billy on the Street.
Oh, really? Billy was on Wendy a bunch.
He's so cool. And at the time, when I didn't get like the lady who
Thanks,
was interviewing
Salty.
me,
Sorry.
was just like, I didn't have really much reality TV experience, and she was like, I just want to make sure that you have a real serious background in reality TV because I see a lot of advertising, I see a lot of this, and I don't see a lot of reality TV, and I just don't know if like you're the fit for this job. And I was like, I think it was like for assistant editor. It was early in my career. She wanted me to write a fucking essay to explain to her why I could do it.
What?
Like, yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe she.
To be clear, I got the Wendy Williams show job by lying about knowing what editing software I got.
Good.
But that's because they wanted to fuck with me, and they're like, "We're gonna buy you Final Cut Pro X," which had just come out, and I was like, yeah, sure, I know how to use it. For those of you who don't know a non-linear editing software, that's a pile of garbage.
Yeah, why'd they do that?
Yeah, gag me with a spoon. Exactly. But I needed it was like I graduated college in 2009, so the economy was that. Like, you see that movie, The Big Short, or whatever? That was my life. Like, I needed money, everything was expensive, and I got offered an editing job, but I went to film school to be a writer and a director, and now I'm getting reoriented in that general direction by writing commentary on other people's films and television stuff.
Yeah.
I guess that puts me kind of in the arena.
Yeah, you have to think about your mental health. I mean, it's super important. What happened? I'll tell a kind of a short version of.
The event.
what I call the event. So I think that I probably, and I didn't realize this at first, but I probably should tell the lead up to the event. I got called in to edit
yeah.
a very large. I got a gig at a post house or a production company that did a lot of pretty well known like main title sequences and does a lot of commercials, and I got brought in to do work on a very large civic video installation in New York. And I was supposed to be the editor, working with a team of compositors. But what happened was, within, I think, 2 days of starting production on this job, which was going to involve shooting hundreds and hundreds of people walking back and forth between on green screens and then compositing their silhouettes into like scenery, I finished the editing of this job in 2 days because there was really nothing to edit. And then they were like, well, you're kind of a swing. Can you composite? And I was like, yes. And they said, can you help us rotoscope? Can you like kind of swing between editing?
So you just never stopped saying no.
Editing and rotoscope. Well, I mean, honestly, in reality, this was a good job that was paying kind of above my going rate and was promising to continue for as long as I wanted it to.
So why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I don't mind working here. I like working with these people. They take care of us. Like, they gave me my own private edit suite. Like, there was a lot of reasons why I didn't want to just, like, walk away from this job. But, like, what I signed up for, though, was editing. And there's a memento reward with editing, like with figuring out
yes,
stuff like that.
And there isn't with some of those other aspects.
Dude, I ended up coming in and doing 10 to 12 hours a day of just painting pixels. Like
no, I can't. Like
scoping. Not even edge finding, but like literally.
Like no, like going pixel to pixel.
Scoping. Yeah, because the mats, the green screening, not clean, and so we had to like fix them. And then there was some other fun stuff. Like I ended up, as bad as my math is, I figured out the math to make everything's scale look appropriate so that there would actually be a sense of depth in the shot, because that was like
that's a very important part. Yeah.
When we built when we first built the scene, everybody was like, why is there no sense of depth? And what I realized was like, well, because you have children in the foreground and you have adults in the background.
And so the perspective's completely off.
And they're all different heights, but you've made them flat by turning them into silhouettes, and there's no lighting, and there's no perspective, there's no objects on the ground. We have no sense of space.
Yeah.
So the people in the foreground who are children just look like tiny adults. And so like I did
That's
some math
not good.
Right. And anyway, we fixed it. But this went on for months and 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 months. And it was great. And if you ever want to see the results of this work and you happen to be in New York City, swing by the Moynihan train station and look at some of the screens around. You'll see all of the fruits of these labors.
You'll see the makings of Greg's nervous breakdown.
Yeah. And then at some point I was like, you know what? My wife and I, we were planning a trip to go up to Bar Harbor because we'd never been. And then like 2 weeks before the trip, I said, you know what we should do? We haven't been to Disney in a while. Let's go to Disney. Let's just cancel this Bar Harbor plan. It's gonna be cold. It's spring anyway. We'll just book a trip to Disney and go down to Disney. It'll be fun. And we did that instead, like within 2 weeks. And we drove down and got there. And I was very, very tired the day that we got there. And I was on Space Mountain.
Space Mountain, baby.
Yeah. And something snapped in my brain.
The scare you described when you first told me it was at a beach party at your in-laws, or it was at their house, and you had just it was a baby, it was like you just had your kid.
She was a little older than that. I think she was
usually like a year or something. I think it was the first time I saw Sydney anyways.
She was a year old when we did this trip, and we left.
So it was her first birthday or something. It was something.
Yeah, we were back either just before her first birthday or just after.
Yeah, that sounds right. But you told me this and it blew my I was like, "Are you okay?" I
wasn't.
Really worried about you.
Yeah, and so what happened was I'm on Space Mountain, and Space Mountain is like my favorite thing in the world. I fucking love it.
It's fun.
Space Mountain. It's my favorite ride on Earth. And I'm like on the ride.
On Earth?
It's the best ride in the world. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Space Mountain's top.
Classic choice.
And I'm scooting around in the dark there, and I'm like, I'm having fun. And then all of a sudden, like some like little switch flips in my brain, and I'm like, this is not as fun as I feel like it's supposed to be. Why do I not feel? I don't know. I feel like a little dead or numb or something like that. Like I'm just kind of like going through the motions. Like I don't know, and like, and then in my brain, like then like, because your brain is faster at connecting. Like I don't like.
Your subconscious works faster than your conscious mind. It makes
Right,
connections
which is
quicker.
Why, when you have a dream and a bomb goes off and it's your phone ringing, but like your whole dream was building up to that bomb going off, but it's actually your phone ringing. Like,
Well,
your
it's
brain
because
can do
time is
that.
also chemical. Like when you're dreaming.
Right.
Yeah.
So behind the scenes, my brain is connecting evil concepts together, right, and then feeding them into my conscious thought process. And so what happened was my brain said, "I'm not having a lot of fun on this ride, and the ride's going to be over soon."
Oh,
and then
no.
that connected to the thought of, rides are two-dimensional or one-dimensional things. You're on a track, it's linear, you get on, you get off, you have
You're
no
heading
control
towards
over
the
how,
end.
you have no control over how fast the ride is. This is all going through my head on Space fucking Mountain in the dark, spiraling
You
around
are
the
having a
fucking
Willy
oyster.
Wonka moment, like the shit
Yeah,
where Willy
yeah,
Wonka's
yeah.
yelling at the children in the trippy
And-
train. You're doing it to yourself.
And then I'm thinking to myself, why did I get on this ride if I'm not having any fun? And then I think that life is like a ride because, it's on rails and like you have a limited amount of time and you're along for the ride and like you didn't plan to get onto your life and it's going to end and you like being alive. But now you're aware that you're on the rails and the rails are kind of like running out. Like there's only so much of them left. And I got off of that ride and I told my wife, like, I'm not okay. I feel like, oh, there's something wrong with my brain. And I had the most crushing, fucking believable sense of just like paralyzing thanatosis where I was so aware of my own mortality and just like horrified. And it stayed with me for like 2 weeks. And there's no knowing where we're rowing. Yeah, says this one. And
Well, yeah.
I
No
honestly,
acid.
like,
Greg has never taken acid. And I can tell you this because I've taken acid. I'm the acid guy.
You're the acid guy. I'm not the acid guy. And I felt like my consciousness was, if you imagine that your life is a tube through time and that your consciousness rides along it, I felt like my consciousness, the playhead of the track was off. The playhead was out of the tape or was out of the record, and it was like touching various parts. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm connected to my moment of death right now in my body.
So you basically you got unhooked in time, Slaughterhouse-5 style.
That's how it felt, right? That's how it felt. And like, this was the worst trip to Disney World you can imagine, because for the next 5 days, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I did not eat. I found it painful and impossible to eat. And over the course of those 5 days, I just like kind of white knuckled and did the best I could to, hang on and have as much fun as I could.
I died.
And we did not ride too many rides. And my wife was not very happy with me. And then at one point we went to Rafiki's Planet Watch. And
That's
this is the most
normal.
embarrassing part of the story. Yeah. You go to the petting zoo, and I'm like this
that
state.
Nate's mad at you, but anyways.
In this state, and I'm like hanging out with this pig, petting this pig, looking this pig in the eye, and I realized like I'm not going to eat you. It's just never going to happen again. And,
yeah, you just had that moment. You had your Lisa Simpson moment.
Dude, I mean, it fucking burned it out of my brain. Like, it's not a problem. I don't have any difficulty just avoiding.
I mean, sometimes people have radical shifts like that.
I
started I take care of myself. To be honest, I don't eat a lot of meat. I've been on, so this is crazy. I've been on like a liquid diet for 2 years now for lunch. Yeah. I do protein fruit smoothies for lunch every day for like 2 years because my metabolism, as one of my friends Pat says, I'm the guy who drank from the wrong grail in Indiana Jones. Like, you put food in me and I'm desiccating before your eyes. So I'm carbo loading protein heavy diet and I'm still a stick figure. But I don't know. I started taking care of myself.
I'm trimming down. I'm down about 10 pounds as of today. So
I'm putting on weight. I have musculature for the first time. I'm not just skin and a skeleton.
Muscles. Oh, thanks, editor. So, just to I just want to finish up that thought. So,
Oh,
we make
please,
it
sorry, I'm being
No,
stupid.
I don't feel derailed. I don't want to leave other people. There's a conclusion to that statement, and it's about
Yes.
mental health. So, I mean, I knew this beforehand. I was diagnosed. I have type 2 bipolar disorder, or the one where you don't have I have hypomanias, but not hypermania. Hypermania is delusional, and you think that there's like plots against you and stuff.
No, yeah, you're
Hypomania,
not delusional. I'll say this. I've seen you
occasionally.
in a manic state. Like
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you get pretty far out there.
I'm good at getting work done too, though. It's just like this is the equivalent of being like I have natural speed. But
I
BP2,
wish
yeah, yeah. I don't need sleep like normal
I
humans.
have
Apparently, it's
natural
superpowered.
laziness. Like I shouldn't be smoking weed because I basically
Probably
am
should.
marijuana on my
Probably
own.
should be. But and so I went and you know basically that's why I say this one is like weed, dude. I'm like, yeah, I probably should be. But I was gonna say is that so guy was like, you're having a mixed state attack, and I was like, oh, and that's like when you're manic and depressive at the same time, and it's actually super dangerous. It is the dangerous thing that bipolar disorder can do to you. But and so I rode that out, and I feel much better now.
Well, I'm very glad you
But
feel
yeah,
much better.
I mean, like mental health thing. That's a real
It's
thing.
so important, and there needs to be less stigma on it. My
Sure.
shit, I burnt out on post, and I also I wasn't feeling creatively fulfilled. Like, even though I'm writing articles about other people's work, it's my opinions. It's stuff that, like, I give, I, I give a shit about. And editing, I felt like I was a slave, and that I was not doing what I wanted to do. And I kind of like you, I felt on a track. I don't have bipolar disorder, but I have lots of other stuff. I have been diagnosed with chronic depression,
That's
anxiety,
rough one.
panic, and ADHD. I've got all
Okay.
of that, and I'm on meds
I
for
mean,
all of it.
the funny thing is too, though, is that a lot of times bipolar is. I'm not a doctor, but it is that misdiagnosed a lot. And if you have both depression and anxiety, or both depression and ADHD, another person might put those two things together and say that's bipolar disorder.
I mean,
Actually,
it's an interpretation.
yeah. That, I don't
My
know.
the guy like my shrink and my psychiatrist they don't think I'm bipolar just because I
Cool.
haven't quite had the episodes, and
Yeah.
my shit tends to be more depressive. My anxiety manifests in catatonia, if that makes sense.
No, yeah,
Like
yeah, totally.
I'll get locked in.
How do you feel about
Yes,
being a chef?
I
That
am
one
on a
makes you look
story
like.
mission. For those who are watching Destiny, I'm on the weekly story mission.
And do you like being a chef now, Meek Effect?
Thanks for watching, Owen. I appreciate it. Thanks for teaching me about your name. That was really cool.
And yes, Owen, thank you. Good night. It's been a joy to have you here. And
Yeah, I'm
you've
probably
been
gonna hop
very-
off after I finish this mission.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get out of
I
here.
mean, I'm getting close to the
Being
boss
a chef
fight.
was good for 2 years. I think that one of the things that I think about too is my wife and I were talking about this is that like I hate to do this to people, but like the boomers, you know, they are. It's probably too late for me to start a movie.
Probably too late for you to start what?
A movie. Juan wants to know if we were gonna do movie time. I
Oh,
was
not
saying,
right
like,
now. Yeah.
when you talk about the boomers, and they're out doing things like, and people might push back against this, but what I'm saying is they experienced zero paradigm shifts in their lives.
We've experienced all of them.
You know what I'm saying though? Like, is it like if you think about like the boomers grew up in a very stable economy, got a job and kept it, and yes, things changed. Civil Rights Act passed. They
I will play
desegregated.
with you, Adultish Gambino.
Um,
Not to cut you
they
off, but I totally play with my viewers. If you all
sure
play Destiny and want to play with me, you can do that, and I'll play Among Us with you also.
should,
Yeah.
and so they have this very they're very very inflexible. I think they don't understand, but like the, if you look at like the generation before them, I I mean, think about the upheavals they went through, and the mass migrations, and the mass
Yes.
changes, and like they were just like, I think that the other people, other generations of people, our generation of people, were and are much more adaptable. Like, so Meek Lefect was an engineer who became a chef, and it sounds like now he or she is moving into something else.
I think
And
it's much more normal in our generation.
but even before that, like if you think about like prior
Well,
to
I
World
think
War
about my
II,
grandfather when you mentioned
right?
that.
Yeah, like nobody was defined by their job. It was what they were doing for money, and like, oh, there's work in California. We're going out California way. We're gonna pick things up and move along. Like people were much more flexible.
Well,
I,
I think our generation is putting they're less definition on what you do be like for money being who you are.
I just think that like on the whole, the boomers are an inflexible people. They don't know how to
I
flex.
would say this: my parents are on the liberal end of things, and
Fair
even
enough.
they're like, we're trying, but we just don't understand.
Yeah.
Like my dad wants to be cool with everything, but certain things are beyond him. I would say my dad is an honest, like moderate, like a real moderate, if such a thing can still exist.
Yeah.
He left the Republican Party as soon as Trump got elected, but he says the Republican Party left him.
I think I've heard of that from some other people as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
there.
like they left me.
But like, so here's the thing: is like artistic simplicity is like rigid old people. Like, but my grandparents weren't rigid. My grandparents were
No,
about
my
adapting and
grandparents weren't
overcoming.
rigid.
They survived the Depression, World War II, mass migration. They were immigrants. They were like, I mean, they did whatever was next. They didn't care. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And they were fluid, and they were wrong about things. I remember what was it? Like my parents.
That's heavy, man. Real moderate.
My parents who were terrible, like they can't quit smoking, right? My grandparents my grandparents didn't smoke, and if they did, they'd quit. My wife's grandparents, I love this. She was like, "How come they didn't smoke?" Like, well, we did, and then they told us it was bad for us, so we stopped doing that. Like it was, it wasn't like a part of them, They were just like, "We're just done with that." Like, okay, fine. Like, just put it down. It's not hard to put stuff down. I don't know.
Yeah.
Juan thinks Trump's an idiot. I think he's uneducated. I don't think he's an idiot. I think
He's got a shrewd animal cunning that has kept him on top.
Look, man, I just keep my argument on this one is that I bring this back
Oh.
a bunch. Is he has spent since like what 1985 or 6. He has been working for the Russian mob to launder their money, and has been committing financial crimes, and espionage apparently, and what do you call it? Like real estate crimes, right? And is he in prison? No.
Nope.
He's in the White House. He's not dumb. If he was dumb, he'd be in prison, right? Like, no. Actually, everything, no matter how stupid it looks, it's working. So it's not dumb. Maybe you just have scruples, and so you don't know what else to call it.
No, yeah, no, he's just awful. Like, I wish there was more to it than that.
I think the farce. I mean, even if he is dumb, I just don't think it's a helpful assessment. Like, I think that he is just dangerous. I also push back on people who say that, like, well, he's insane or that he's mentally unfit.
I don't think he's mentally. I don't think he's insane in the way that. I think he's insane in the sense that he's mortally disconnected, but I don't think he's got like dementia.
Right. I think this in absolutely in no way that makes any difference from a legalistic standpoint is he in mental decline. You know what I mean? Like, he is completely. I think
he is responsible for everything. He knows every move he's doing.
Exactly. That's my point. So then, like, I don't think there's any point in saying that he's not well in the mind. Like, he's just evil. That's what the word is. He's evil.
He's just a bully, and he knows that he can be a bully and get away with it.
I like the term. I think that he is. A lot of people say he's a narcissist. I think he's a solipsist, honestly, which is a little bit different.
Narcissist cares about themselves. Is a solipsist someone who cares what other people think about them?
A narcissist needs to be loved. A narcissist loves themselves, and they must have other people love them.
Yes.
Solipsism is it's kind of like the black pill. It means to be a solipsist, you question whether or not other people even exist. You can't feel their thoughts. You can't see the wheels turning behind their mind. For all you know,
So he just doesn't think nothing's real to him. Paper people.
It might as well be. Like everything, once you become a solipsist, you decide that, like, okay, so the universe, the cosmos, it may as well not exist after I'm gone. Nothing matters after I cease to exist. I just accidentally opened a window that covered you up. And so therefore, you end up with, and I think if you assume that about him, everything makes perfect sense. He is that person who believes that would be an extreme risk taker. Think about, I've known a few junkies. If you've ever tried to get a junkie to go to rehab and you tell them you're going to die doing this, they say, I know I'm going to die doing this. You think I care about dying? I figured that out a while ago. I'm trying to have a good time in the meantime. I don't want to be alive the minute I stop having fun. I want to stop being alive. And I personally think that Trump has that mentality. I don't need anything to exist the minute that I stop being king. That's what I think. That's a scary thought. I think we were saying this before the stream started when I was saying that, like, you know, the question I want people to think about is, do you think that if he thought your life or your child's life was the thing standing in the way of his
he would murder it in a second.
Right. Would you be in danger? If he thought that declaring war on an American city or nuking an American city would somehow assure him victory, do you think he would do it? I think he would. I think that
has no one seen the movie Failsafe?
I don't think that he thinks that those things would benefit him, right? That's why it's not happening. But I do think he would do it. I think that I don't think it would take him. I don't think it would take him very much time to make that decision at all. I think that the problem with our situation right here is that you've got, you know, I don't know if the prisoner's dilemma is a very good comparison.
No, what the problem is right now is that truth is malleable due to the way that we're spreading information. Like, he's shaping the narrative, and the truth, if he's shouting it loud enough, he's altering reality and changing what the truth is in people's minds. That's the problem.
I mean, that's true, though. That's how advertising works, right?
Yeah, it's a form of mind control. It's a type of magic to get weird on you. But like
here's a thought, right? If I think that really one of the problems comes down to the fact that, like, basically you've got two parties in America. I mean, you probably have we do have other parties, but they don't.
Good night, Deb. Thanks for watching.
And Deb, it's always a pleasure to have you around. Thank you. And the one is concerned with observing the forms of democracy. The one party is a party that believes in plurality, democracy, voting, the machinery of it, and basically this is the equivalent of a party that says we are together. Basically, I'm sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? This is the equivalent of saying, like, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. It's about how you play the game. Go out there and give it your all.
Zen moment.
Don't cheat. And then you've got another group of people who say,
God,
well, I don't care about any of the machinery that gets us there. We care only about the end result. As a matter of fact, if the machinery does not yield the end result that we need or that we expect, then the machinery is useless. And I think that is not a crazy position to have, to be perfectly honest, right? Like, if you have a society, you put together a country, and the end result is that a huge percentage of the population of that country wind up. Oh no, Damien, I'm so sorry. I don't know, Damien, you can go fuck off.
That's on your chat. You can say that. I wouldn't say fuck off, but I would definitely say, if you're on my stream too, we talk about anything.
So I think that the problem is that you have
Sorry, buddy.
I'm sorry, Damien. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like, I'm not big on. I am what I am. So the YouTube channel is actually TV time. It is a, it's a
Start menu
presentational
is
thing. We can talk
block
about politics here.
frame.
This is just folks talking, and everything is political. If you think something's not political, you're a very lucky person. But what I was gonna say is that I think that you have a problem here where, I don't think it's an insane. I think that is not an insane perspective. If you have a structure of government that yields slavery, for example, then that is a useless structure of government. It is useless. It is functionally useless. So I don't think the Republicans are wrong. If they consider it an existential threat that abortion is legal, if they consider it an existential threat that we want to pay reparations, or that we want to see economic justice, or that we want to see social justice, if they consider that an existential threat, they're not wrong to treat it that way. The problem is, what do you do then? How do you respond to a group of people who sees your existence, your justice, as an existential threat? How do you design a system that can actually square that? Because once something is an existential threat to somebody, whatever system you design is meaningless. They're going to tear it down, right? Like if I said, I don't know, if it's an existential threat, if my structure I have built threatens your very existence, you will immediately abandon that structure. Why would I expect anything differently? That would be stupid for you not to, right? So I don't know what the solution is there. I keep coming back to that movie, Lifeboat, which was like one of the first movies that really connected with me as a kid. And it just ends with the people in the boat, and they've gotten rid of the Nazi, and they're just like, what do you do with people like that? Like, what do we do? Like, what do you do with people like this? Because you don't spend the rest of your life exterminating these Nazis.
I mean, again, I like to talk. I like to talk about, and it's easier to talk about in theory than practice. But it's the thought exercise of the paradox of tolerance. The idea of a tolerant society is that if you're 100% tolerant, you're tolerant of intolerance, and invariably, this intolerance will overpower you, and you will have an intolerant society. Therefore, the paradox is the only way to maintain a tolerant society is to be intolerant of intolerance. So yeah, short of wiping out all the Nazis, we're not going to get rid of hate.
No, but that's not even the issue. Like, I don't think that. I think the question is that, like, how. I think that what ends up
Captain
happening
Manic, thank you.
I think that what ends up happening is that you come to this conclusion once you get to that, like, okay, there's a certain segment of the population, and apparently it's a large segment, that will simply throw out the entire social order to get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, the purpose of the social order, right? Like, and Matt Colville was talking about this recently, the difference between a society of laws and a society of chaos, and how early D&D was entirely about this dichotomy between law and chaos. And that in a chaotic society, that's what happens, right? Like, the social order gets thrown out, a charismatic leader can come in. When the order does not produce the desired result, they chuck it. In a society of laws, the law is the king. Whomever is your next in line takes over. Whatever the vote yields, that's what happens. It's a society of law. Everybody submits to law because they serve the law. I don't think a society of laws exists. I think it exists until a sufficiently charismatic person comes along, or a sufficiently existential crisis comes along that people suddenly drop it and realize we are quite chaotic. And so then I wonder, is the solution here, is this literally like a thing where, like, well, society is actually functionally useless. The idea of organizing ourselves into any structure at all, or a government at all, it's useless.
And this is the guy that hates chaos magic.
Ultimately, what you need is for each individual person to be correct about what is good.
Well, no, but that's it. So there has to be a moral consensus reached in order for society to really work.
Right. In order to organize a structure, we have to have a moral consensus. But, like, I don't know that that's possible. And I think that I think that it's one of those things where it's like, I know it when I see it. And I go back to the Declaration of Independence, which it's really funny. I saw randomly that somebody took the Declaration of Independence and translated it.
Yeah, I saw your post.
Language. I love that. But I've been thinking about that a lot, about the phrase self-evident, We hold these truths to be self-evident, which means that like
It's obvious.
I don't like if we can't even have a conversation about this. We can't have an argue about this. There's no discussion to be had here at all.
It's an absolute truth.
We get it and you don't, and it's like the pornography law. What is pornography? We know it when we see it. What is a Nazi? We know it when we see it. What is an antisocial behavior? We know it when we see it. And that does create a situation where there is no safety net. There is no safety net. There's no system to prevent overreach. There's no system in that society to prevent things from going off the rails. You just have to continually be individually vigilant about good and wrong. And we all actually have to, we can't become a society of cannibals. We have to decide, we have to just hope that everybody remains correct. And I don't know. That's subjective.
You're right, Greg, but ultimately it comes down to willingness to, or belief that trying to maintain this system is worth it, because the other side of that is entropy. It's just letting it all fall apart. You either try your best and try to make a society, even when it fucks up this bad, you even if it has to be rebuilt, whatever has to happen, you either accept that because you're alive and you're here and you're on this planet with other people, or it's the purge. Like, it's one of those two things.
But what if it's, yeah, but I think that what I'm saying is that society is always the purge. It's always purging somebody. It's just where are you on that? I don't know. I feel like it's
You're right in the sense that, like, history moves in cycles. You are very correct in that. But, I don't know.
I'm saying that, like, for 300 years, right, we have had a brutally oppressive and unjust society.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it just got bad.
No.
It's never been good.
Okay.
Society, who was a good, you know what I mean?
But Greg, we are one of the first generations that more than, like, the majority see that. We were the dare generation. We were told, we were raised on, like, Reaganomics and yay America, and, like, we were promised what the American dream was. We grew up, and then we were presented a truth that wasn't there. That's disillusionment. You're right, and we see it, but that doesn't mean that the dream that we were taught of equality isn't something to aspire towards.
I don't think, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. I just don't think you can make, all I'm saying is I don't think you can design a machinery, a structure, a social structure that will actually attain that. I think that it is completely down to individuals.
Well, here's the thing. This is where I think technology comes in. So the singularity, quote unquote, we're getting connected. We're seeing each other more. It's a lot easier to reach across the globe than we could have. And I think that is going to have an effect long term on a larger moral consensus for humanity as an entity in a way that we don't understand. Because if we were kids and said, when you're 33, you're going to be playing video games in your apartment and there's going to be multiple monitors and you're playing through this thing called the internet. What's the internet? Like, we don't even know what's the next 10 years is going to be like. And Trump sucks. Fuck him. Let's try and get him out of office. And if he doesn't work, and if he becomes a fascist, then we tear that shit down. I mean, that's all it really boils down to. And we do our best and try to be there. Yep. Try to be there for one another.
But what's the legal? You know, as I'm saying, is it like
the law doesn't matter if justice doesn't come from the top down. There is no law.
That's my point, though, right? Like, so then this comes back to what it's my point, though, is like, by what authority are you making that claim? By what is your moral backing? What is your authority backing in saying that, like, this is right, that is wrong? We will upend the social order. You're appealing ultimately to, you can't put that on paper. There's nothing you can write. You can't explain it in numbers. You can't say, well, this is right and that's wrong because this is the structure that we like. It's just like, it is just, you have to know it when you see it. You just have to have individuals. The only thing that makes a quote society work or appear to work is by being populated with individuals whom are correct, which is a very ugly place to come to a conclusion of, because it means that like,
I kind of disagree. I don't think it's correct. I think it's people that question. It's getting complacent. Complacency is the problem. You get caught in one particular set of motions, one particular set of ideals, and if you become inflexible, and then people suffer as a result.
it just
I don't know if it's just waiting for quality people. I think
Well, questioners, though, I mean, to be a questioner, I think that here's my counter to that point. A questioner is you need to be extremely sure of your convictions before you're going to do any system dismantling, before you're going to do any kind of tearing things down, right? Like a questioner isn't unshoveling buildings and stuff like that. So I don't.
But we need those people in our society, like if you're talking about from the moral sense. To figure out what is right and what is wrong, you have to have the people questioning what is right and what is wrong. Like you, for example.
Fair.
You are a symptom of a functioning society, Greg. You're questioning how things work. You're wondering what makes you deserving of things. This is good.
Yeah.
This is a good thing. Like we need people like you.
I feel like I must just not be articulating my point clearly. It's also
maybe we're just on it. It's also almost 4 a.m.
Fair enough. And some angry one over Saturday. Most people I shout because they're scared. They don't have enough for themselves and their family. If we knew what to do legally to stop all this nonsense, Trump and Republicans would do it anyway. No one will be held accountable. Communities are always better at taking care of themselves.
I'm like catching up on both the. I'm just reading both the chats. We got a lot of smart people here.
I'm not trying to fuel any boog talk to Captain Manic. I don't know. Those people are weirdos.
What's up?
Well, I think actually, I don't know. There's somebody in your chat talking about boogies. I'm not a boogie. Certainly.
Oh, the boogaloo, I think, is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Those fucking weirdos. Anyways,
fantasies about violence.
I could literally. Greg and I have talked through the night. That was most of college. I should probably get to bed.
Sleep.
But this has been a very cool conversation. On my end of the stream, I want to thank you, Greg, for making people listen to me.
Well, I hope they'll tune in. I hope you.
People are welcome to.
I'll drop your link again. I think that maybe you're right. Maybe a straight raid would probably be working better because of some system limitations here.
Yeah, but this was fun too. I mean, I like having now that I have the tech set up. Artistic, always discussing the hard stuff.
Maudib is the name of your cat?
Yeah, it's the main character of Dune. He gets a name from the natives. They like worship him as a prophet, and so Timothy Chalamet's character is Paul Atreides, and then the Fremen, the natives of Dune, give him a name, and they call him Muad'Dib, which is ironic because it is a desert mouse. And I gave him that name because he had severe social anxiety when we got him, and he was like a mouse, so I named him Muad'Dib. He's way friendlier now. Thank you everyone for the follows. I think this is it for me. I think I'm signing off. Greg, you and I can still chat for a hot second unless you're staying on.
Nope, I'll get out of here too. Good night, everybody.
Good night and good luck.
Good dark stream. Good night, good luck.